all history is to some extent fictional. I don't really know how there can be a true image of Che Guevara versus the icon of Che Guevara.
Aprendimos a quererte desde la histórica altura, donde el sol de tu bravura le puso cerco a la muerte.
Aquí se queda la clara, la entrañable transparencia de tu querida presencia, comandante Che Guevara.
When Ernesto Che Guevara died in 1967, a long process began in which his image was adopted as an icon of social revolution and dissent. His association with counterculture movements became more prominent than his ideology or history. 40 years after his death, he has become a face on a t-shirt or on a poster in a dorm room, rather than a man that opposed U.S. imperialism and the capitalist consumerism now associated with his image. This revolutionary figure has become, for many people, simply a fashion statement. Che Guevara remains a divisive figure, as much myth as reality. I sat down with a group of students to discuss his iconography in American culture.
I'm not sure about his history, about the icon. I mean, I know I've seen his face and his image all over the place, so it has become part of pop culture, but I'm not even sure what part that really is.
I don't really know that much about him, but I know that most people who like him don't know that much about him.
People like to rebel against, the authorities, such as the president or something like that of America, because Cuba is a place that, doesn't, go along with everything that the United States goes along with. So I think that's the reason why people have his face on everything they own, and not because of what he did specifically.
Yeah, for me, I guess mostly Che Guevara represents a certain stereotypical social group in the U.S. more than anything, because I guess I'm not that knowledgeable on Che Guevara himself, and so what I think about when I think about Che Guevara is the commercialism and the, I guess you want to say, type of people who display the commercialized image of Che Guevara, because I think...
To me, Che represents a symbol of a revolutionary, but also at the same time I think he represents kind of a counterculture movement. I feel like a lot of people that idolize him see him not necessarily as a Marxist or a communist, but just as someone who went against what was the norm of the time.
Definitely, you see it a lot among people who think that they're different and cool and want to be different than everyone else. And
through just pop culture, Che becomes sort of a personal interpretation of whatever you think he was.
I mean, I kind of think when someone's so widely commercialized like that, or anything, not even just him, that it kind of becomes a form of propaganda, and that you're wearing something that you don't really always know what it represents. And
stands for freedom and basically in individualism and not following the norm. And I feel like that's what people take it as and understand it as, not so much as looking into the history of who he was and what he stood for.
But I think people should be aware that if they're wearing an image, even though they maybe don't understand what they're wearing or why they're wearing it or what it represents, people should be aware that other people will interpret that image certain ways, and that may give other people a view of the person that's wearing it in a certain way. So you're representing yourself in a certain way by wearing the image, and even if you don't understand that, other people may judge you on that. So
there are other people that come to mind that are frequently, that image of them are frequently seen, like Gandhi, for example, is pretty contrasting figure to Che Guevara, but he's also idolized by certain groups, I guess, more than others.
I mean, I guess there needs to be an icon for everything, and so why not Che Guevara?